I was 15 years old, standing in a pizza restaurant at 6 in the morning, while my boss laughed in my face and told me I was replaceable. 4 hours later, their entire store had to shut down. And they never saw it coming. If you've ever been disrespected at work, underestimated because of your age, or treated like you should be grateful just to be exploited, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this is one of those revenge stories where karma doesn't whisper. It slams the front door and locks it behind you. The job I never wanted. When I was 15, I wasn't dreaming of working in fast food. I wanted a job at the local arena, a place that felt legitimate. Ice rinks, pools, actual adults who didn't think running a pizza joint made them royalty. But there was a problem. You had to be 16 to handle the cleaning chemicals. I was months too young. So when that door slammed shut, I did what most teenagers do. I bit the bullet. I applied to a very popular pizza place in Canada. Let's just say it rhymes with nut. And from day one, I knew exactly where I stood. Meet the bosses. The place was run by a group of college-aged managers. Early 20s, permanent smirks, the kind of people who loved reminding teenagers that they were in charge. They acted like running a pizza place made them CEOs. And we, the teenagers, were disposable. I was hired to work in the kitchen. Dishes, prep, closing shifts on weeknights. Not glamorous, but it worked with school. And for a few weeks, it was fine. The dough trap. About a month in, they pulled me aside. We want to teach you how to make dough. That should have sounded like a promotion. It wasn't. Dough shifts meant 6 a.m. weekends. 6 in the morning. Every batch had to be ready by noon. And that meant hours of non-stop work while the rest of the world slept. I hesitated. I was 15. Weekends were the only time I felt like a kid. So I told them the truth. I'll learn, but I don't want to do it every weekend. They smiled. They promised. Just one weekend a month. I agreed. My buddy Scott, my partner in crime, agreed too. We trained. We nailed it. And then, 2 weeks later, the schedule dropped. The betrayal. Saturday, me. Sunday, Scott. Every single weekend, I stared at the schedule like it had personally insulted me. I went straight to my boss. She laughed. Actually laughed. Too bad, she said. Behind her, the servers, all in their 20s, snickered. That's when it clicked. We weren't employees to them. We were jokes. Kids they could bully because they needed the job. And they knew it. The breaking point. Every Saturday morning after that felt the same. Alarm screaming at 5:15 a.m. cold air. Empty streets. 6 straight hours of mixed dough. Pull dough. Oil pans. Portion dough. Racket. Proof it. Cold storage. Repeat. Non-stop. By myself. While the bosses slept in. And every time I thought about quitting, I remembered something. They thought I couldn't. The call that changed everything. Then one Saturday afternoon, I went home exhausted. And my parents said 5 words that changed everything. The arena called you. They wanted another interview. I went in. 2 weeks later, the day after my birthday. They offered me the job. I'd be free. And then they asked, do you know anyone else? I smiled. I told them about Scott. The plan forms. Scott handed in his resume. He got the call. We looked at each other at work that week and didn't say a word. But we both knew. This wasn't just quitting. This was payback. Revenge Saturday. The following Saturday, I showed up at 6 a.m. clocked in. Apron on. Name tag straight. And then, I did nothing. I sat in a booth. Drank chocolate milk. Twiddled my thumbs. Watched the clock. No dough mixed. No pans oiled. Nothing. At noon, the bosses arrived. And there I was, waiting. The quit heard round the store. I walked up. Handed over my apron. I quit. She laughed again. Whatever. We were going to fire you anyway. Then she sneered. If you were smart, you wouldn't have shown up. You could have really screwed us. I smiled. Oh, I did show up. I just didn't make any dough. Her face drained of color. I'll still need to be paid for my shift. Silence. Pure, glorious, silence. The fallout. No dough meant no pizza. No pizza meant no business. They couldn't run front and back of house and make dough. They shut down the store. Entire day. Lost revenue. Angry customers. And the next day, Scott did the exact same thing. 2 days. 0 dough. Maximum chaos. Watching people who thought they were untouchable realize they weren't, was priceless. No yelling. No insults. Just consequences. And the best part? We walked straight into new jobs at the arena. Worked together through high school. And told that story every chance we got. Some people think power comes from a title. Others learn, the hard way, that power comes from respect. Exploit people long enough. And eventually, they stop playing along. If this story hit home, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories where karma shows up right on time. And tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying workplace revenge you've ever seen? Because trust me, there are plenty more stories like this coming.